This webisode of Waterways is brought to you by Yamaha. Yamaha revs your heart. Boat Blurb, inspired boating content. Become a subscriber today. And St. Clair Boat Sales, turning boaters' dreams into reality.
The temperature's rising, you're feeling the heat. All you ever wanted it to be. The summer of you. Do all the things you want to do. The summer of you.
Welcome to Waterways. This week we're coming to you from where I fell in love with being on and around the water. A place that has been a boater's paradise since the 1800s. Boating in Muskoka has a very long history, and it started on things like this. The larger steamers and cruise ships that plied Lake Muskoka over the years, and eventually that gave way to private boats, and now you see everything ripping around here, wake surfing. Anything you can mention, you'll probably find it on the lakes around Muskoka. But those old steamers are still going, at least one of them. The Seguin is an original from the mid-1800s, but it doesn't start sailing for another week or so, and I wanted to get out on the water right away. This one that we're on right now is the Winona 2. It was built in 2002, but a replica, made to look like it, and I'm told I might be able to meet the captain, and if I can sweet talk him, I'm gonna blow that horn. It's really loud though, I don't know if I'm allowed to. This area is called the Narrows for a very obvious reason, and I am thrilled I am not behind the wheel because I don't know if you can hear the wind, you can see it. That is a tight squeeze for a big boat. Nice work, cabby. Okay, I have breached the wheelhouse of the Winona 2. That's not true. Don't try and do it. There are ropes. Don't cross them. But they have graciously invited me up. Captain Glenn Murley, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
How long have you been doing what you're doing?
This ship, first of all, is 20 years old, so I was the first captain of this ship when she came out brand new.
And we've got the wind, kicking along. Not terrible. There's not white caps on the lake, but the flags are getting to work out. What is this like? Is this just a big old sail, or is this pretty sturdy in the water?
Well, she's a very, very stable vessel, but because of a fairly shallow draft for the size of it, the wind does blow it around quite a bit. So it's more of a concern coming in and out of a dock. On the lake, I've been out in 60 knots of wind in it, and it's fun.
This is pretty unique to Muskoka that not only has this been going on a long time, but it's still happening, and you are part of that long line of captains of the big ships on here. What does that feel like as a career achievement?
I feel very lucky to be able to do this. Yes, I mean, the original company, the Muskoka Steamship and Hotel Company, was one of the, if not the oldest steamship companies in Canada and North America. And yeah, just to be part of the history is very special.
I would be remiss not to ask, and I'm gonna pretend it's for my 6-year-old son. Could I blow the horn?
You certainly could.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think it was gonna be a yes. Is it this thing?
It is this thing. It's a steam whistle, but it's air powered, so it's kind of like a horn. So
okay, so I wasn't totally wrong.
No. Boat waving at you right now.
Here we go, give him a little hello.
One long and two short. Perfect. And a little wave.
See? I did that. I am part of the steamship tradition on Lake Muskoka. That counts, right?
Yep.
Beautiful. 60 seconds of safety this week is all about getting cool on a hot day. So fortunately, a breeze has kicked up here in Port Colborne, and it's cut the heat down a little bit. But generally what I and many people love to do with their families and friends on a hot day with a boat is go swimming. One thing you should never, ever, ever do, as inviting as it may look, even if there's a way down to the water, is swim in a marina. And it's very simple. Electricity. There are lines running under all these docks into the boats. Even if everything is done perfectly right, there's 700 slips here. All you need is one boat or one issue, and you could have a stray electric current going into the water. You get a shock, it could shock you, you could drown. It happens, it's tragic, and it's completely avoidable. Swimming, great. Swimming in marinas, bad idea. Don't do it. Lots of displays in the Muskoka Discovery Center, but this one, by far, best named. And Curly, thanks for taking your time. I really appreciate it. We were looking at the steamships. We're talking about the history of it. You know, this is part of it, right? This is part of Muskoka, these wooden boats, these private, smaller ones. Why is this so important to showcase and tell this story?
Well, it's very important to our history. Right now, we're on the site of the Ditchburn Boat Building Factory.
Not to the numbers that it would have been, but it's still happening. There's still the craftspeople putting these together. A lot of restorations, too.
Exactly. A lot of restorations, as well as coming up with their own designs.
I love it. So the Ditchburn Boat Building happened right here?
Right here.
Ooh.
Right here.
It's not haunted, is it? The public's not allowed on this side of the railing. It's just behind the camera. You get these amazing views. But since I'm here, I'm gonna do something else the public can't do. Can I get on this one?
You sure can.
Yes. Hello, Rita. There's nothing wrong with the general, museum display thing where there's some inside, right? Those aren't being used anymore, and it's nice to see what it used to look like. But these are in the water. These are still used. They still run. This is living history.
It is. It is. And that's one of the things that makes us unique, because you can come back every year and see a different boat, and we rotate them up, and we're approached by new boat owners. So we figure out how much space we have. And as I might have mentioned, that it's a mathematical equation trying to fit them all in, and we do our very best to do that.
That's a good problem to have, though, right? You'd rather have too many and try to figure them out than have one little old rust bucket floating there.
Exactly. Exactly.
So fine, I won't bring my boat because you have standards.
Well, there is docking outside, and then you could, just come in through the doors and see the beauty boats.
The Muskoka Discovery Center has lots of beautifully crafted displays. So you're probably wondering what this is with all the tarps and dirt and rags and things. Well, this is not a display yet. I busted through the Do Not Enter sign to give you a sneak peek of what's coming in 2023. And what we're looking at right here is a steam engine. This is the original engine from the Wanda, a ship I'm going to show you. It's under construction right now. The public hasn't seen it for a couple decades. It was owned by the Eaton family, and in 1915, this was state of the art. But they're going from steam to green, the new state of the art. It's going to be electric. So I see the doors are open. I'm going to try and blend in with the construction crew and get a sneak peek of this boat. If anyone asks, these are steel toe flip-flops. And here she is, the Wanda. So, as you can see, there's still some work to do. It's not going to be available for public viewing until 2023, but for 107 years old, she's looking pretty solid. Built in 1915, very long, but wildly narrow. My 38-foot powerboat has a 13-foot beam. This beast, 12-foot beam, so it slices through the water. And there was a good reason that the Eaton family and all those wealthy cottagers back in the day in Muskoka wanted something that was fast. It's because when the train would arrive, they'd load onto their boat, and to get up to their cottage, they have to go through the locks in Port Carling. First one there got through the fastest, everyone else had to wait. So, 12-foot beam, that sliced through the water, off you go. So this hasn't been viewable to the public in a couple decades. They've been restoring it, they're working on it right now. The plan is to have it doing tours again in 2023. And as I mentioned, it's going from steam to green. So the batteries that this thing is gonna need are not insignificant. Oh, hello. I'm just hanging out in Mrs. Eaton's private salon, which is apparently what this was back in the day. So just behind you is the wheelhouse where the captain would be, and apparently Mrs. Eaton would enjoy her trip up here. And this button on the wall is what she would push to call the staff if, you know, she needed tea for the ride. I'm gonna think of it, it's getting kind of hot. I use a drink. Come on. All right, you guys continue the tour. I'm gonna wait. He's coming. He will be coming.
A question I often get asked is, what type of boat should I get? And that's an impossible question. It's like asking what the best type of shoe is. It all depends on what you want to do and where you want to do it.
This is the lake that I grew up boating. This is where I fell in love with boating. And even here, a lake I know intimately, there is no one answer for the right type of boat. It all comes down to what you want to do and why you want to boat. If it's just going out for day cruises, enjoying the lake a little bit, but you don't need to go out in bad weather, well, something like this, a rib, a rigid-hulled inflatable boat, is something that you might consider. And these are growing in popularity in North America. Now, in Europe, they've been a big thing for a long time. You see 30, 40 footers. It's normal there. In North America, you generally only saw them as tenders for larger boats that are going out to anchorage and things like that. But this sort of small to mid-size is growing in popularity because you get a lot of boats for the size. It's lightweight, which means you can trailer it with just about anything. We only have 25 horsepower on here, and that's plenty with two people to rip around, no problem. You could squeeze a few more on as well. So this is kind of like the cross trainer when we're talking about footwear. You need something a little more rugged. And then we come to the work boot in the analogy. This is a heavy-duty aluminum hulled center console. Got the hard top above me, the solid windscreen. We're splashing through waves right now and not a drop on board. There's barely any wind here. So if you've got an island cottage or a water access cottage or something like that, this is the kind of thing you might be looking at. But just because it's a work boot doesn't mean it's not a fashionable and fun work boot. You can have all your fishing fun. There's the rocket launchers on the back for the big water fishing. You can also do tow sports or enjoy a family cruise in it. And it doesn't matter what type of boat you want. It's a matter of what you want to use it for. And if you don't need something utilitarian, you need something a little more fun, well, and this is more like the flip-flop. This is the fun. So this is a jet blaster, not just any personal watercraft. This one is designed to have fun with. And, well, technically you could do more with this, much like I could ride across the country on my bicycle if I wanted. It's not really designed for that. This is designed for ripping around, getting wet, having fun. This thing just looks like it wants to get wet. This one is like a soccer cleat. It's pretty sport specific. And sure, you could play baseball in soccer cleats. You could go for a hike in them if you want, but it's best used and all of the design features are built around that sport. Well, this is a ski boat, not a tow sports boat. This isn't for wake surfing and wakeboarding. This is hardcore though. It's got the pole here for the barefoot bar to stick out the side. We've got the engine trim and jack plate controls right at fingertips reach. As you can see, very low profile. If you're into that ski scene, this is the kind of boat that you would want. And sure, you can enjoy the day with your family on it as well, but like that soccer cleat, this was designed with the sport top of mind. Here with my still dripping wet friend, Jordy Newlands. How are you, buddy?
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, heck of a show. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us. First one of the season.
First one of the season.
How'd it feel? It didn't look like the first one.
We've been skiing a little bit. We've been training and getting ready. We wanted to make sure that we were ready for our fans. We didn't want to disappoint our first show back here.
Yeah, so tell me about this. It's been going on a long time. It's free. People can come out to this park.
Yeah, it's one of the longest running Muskoka traditions. It's completely free. Every Tuesday night, we're here, rain or shine, performing for the people of Muskoka. Like during COVID, people were like, "You're not here doing the ski show?" We're like, "Yeah, it's COVID. We're not allowed." But people just show up. We don't advertise. We don't do really anything. They just show up. Like rain or shine, there's 1,500 people here. Like next weekend, there'll be over 2,000 people. We can teach you anything you see on the water. We can teach at any of our locations.
So, but not just for kids, right? You can teach grown-ups, some larger than grown-ups.
I'm sure we can find a wetsuit or a life jacket that'll fit you.
The confidence is not quite where I need it, but that was a yes. So tomorrow,
We guarantee it's free if you don't get up, all right? It's free. We won't charge you.
we have an accord.
All right.
Let's do this thing. The sun's gone away. It's a little bit colder, hence the sweater. And of course, this is the day that I'm getting in the water. So we saw the Waterski show. They said anyone could do it. I'm gonna put that to the test. I'm gonna try wake surfing and flyboarding. I'm not a religious man, but I kind of want you to pray for me on that second one. Oh, here it comes too.
So I want your heels right there, okay? We're gonna give you a bit of power with the boat. You're gonna feel tension in the rope. All I want you to do, push down with your heels. The board's gonna flip up like this. So it's not into your hip, it's a rotation. Now you're facing the boat, okay? And you're still positioned like this. Then from there, I want you to just cruise, relax, and we'll take it from there.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, front foot. Yeah. Woo! That's awesome. Front foot, you got it. Woo! That was perfect.
Bow down, Muskoka, for I am a god. Buddy,
Steve, great job, buddy.
that was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That instruction, I did what you told me and it worked.
You know what? It's funny. It's one of those things. It's really simple. It's like your feet have always wanted to fly on jets, and now they can.
Yeah.
If you don't overthink it too much, it works. Pretty instinctual. Man, you were pretty high out there, right?
Yeah.
Did it feel good?
It did. Like when you first sent me up that high, I was like, hey! But then, then you yelled out, you're like, it's the exact same, nothing changes. I'm like, all right.
No matter how high we go, the principles stay the same.
Yeah.
Stay the same.
You feel like a superhero.
Right.
Don't worry, Muskoka, you're safe. But I gotta come back and do it because like now I'm hooked.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Thanks, brother. Time to say goodbye to Muskoka, from the old steamships and how the boating life all started here to the wake surfing and the flyboarding that I was able to check out. This is, and will for a long time be a water-loving, boat-loving destination. And I'm excited to find the stories somewhere else in the province. And next week, we'll be taking you to check this out. This week, we are transiting the Welland Canal. One more time, what's your title?
Operations manager, curator, whatever you want to call me. The boss. No, I'm just kidding.
This is my friend Ann. She's the boss. We're not back in 10 minutes. Avenge our death. Oh. Nothing. So I could fit a T in there, cut the bottom off, and I'll get my first name as well. I'm just gonna need to go ahead and take this. It's on wheels. I love it.
The summer of you.